All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. I'm going to put you all over here so I can see you. And just take a nice deep breath. So whatever has been going on for you today, just know that however it is you're turning up this evening is perfectly fine. It's just where you're at right now. You don't have to try to be anything else or to be anywhere else other than where you're at. So whether you're happy, whether you're sick, whether you're sad, it's all okay. It's just where you're at right now. So if you are sitting on a chair with your feet in a parallel position, feet flat on the ground, maybe on a cushion, and really try and connect with the earth through your feet, kind of in a way that helps to ground us. If you're sitting in the cross-legged position, sits bones are raised, shoulders are aligned with the hips. You can just place your hands wherever is comfortable for you. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just lengthen. Grow a little bit taller, and then from the top of the neck, you just tip the head forward. Eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose to a spot about 2 inches ahead if they were open. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and just relax the jaw as much as you can. Then go to the top of the head, the crown, and release all the tension in the crown of the head and your face, the back of the head, and your ears, your temples, back of the neck, your shoulders, shoulder blades drop down. Relax the throat, your chest and belly, and then all your limbs and hands and fingers and feet and toes. And really try not to slump. So we're relaxing everything, but we're still lengthening, growing taller. Imagine the crown of your head is reaching for the ceiling. And there you're in a really comfortable, light, well-aligned position for meditation. And bring the mind to the breath, just noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And if there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with your mind. And then just notice what thoughts are arising in the mind and just allow them. And try not to judge or have any opinions or criticize. And just be happy you can see what's there. And if the thoughts are painful or they're, something you think you shouldn't have, just try and put some space in between them. And know that you're not alone. You're not unique in all your weird and wonderful thoughts. And it's good to know that we have them. So take a step back and, as a scientist might look at something with objectivity and with curiosity. This is how we look at our mind. we just put ourselves on the bank of our river, safely sitting there on the bank, free from the river, as we watch it flow on by. So we'll bring to mind all those people of our life. And these are our very dear loved ones, our spouses and children, our besties, work colleagues, and then there's those people in your life who are, quite difficult. And then there's all your strangers, remembering they can change place, and they can change place at any time. Depends on our karma, our merit. But actually, the way we need to think about everybody is that they're a dear friend, and recognize that everybody is the same as you and me in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering. And in having this extraordinary capacity for this enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logical karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And, having harmed others, we are going to experience some kind of suffering in the future. And we may not exactly know when that suffering is going to ripen. Could be in a very inconvenient time. So it just makes sense that we would pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the suffering, the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And we also regret any anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we take refuge first. And we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're not necessarily needing Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon Vajrasattva's methods. So you can imagine that, he's a doctor. And so he has this medicine that we can use to heal ourselves. So just see it like that. Vajrasattva is a doctor. And so we follow his advice and we get well. We follow his advice, we purify our minds. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. This lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential. It's born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. So Vajrasattva's face is radiant and beautiful. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a Vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So this is why they put this developing compassion section in reliance. The very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently, maybe in the past, and then remember those who have harmed you. And particularly we have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you will necessarily turn into harm for them, suffering for them in the future. So think, I must do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And so we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, very forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of all of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sutame Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and careless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends powerful beams of light this time from his heart chakra, and this kind of arcs around, enters your crown and fills your entire being. So again, as we imagine you're walking into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch. So next time you do walk into a dark room and you turn the light on, imagine you're dispelling the darkness. So it's the same. And imagine, actually, you can just imagine as you walk into that dark room, flick on the switch, just imagine, oh, I'm dispelling my delusions. So this here, we imagine as the light hits our heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So all your attachment and depression, anxieties, insecurities, and violence and grudges and bitterness and jealousy, and all of this instantly dispelled as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe, Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasapa Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe, Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasapa Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe, Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasapa Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So you imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely, and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe. So now feel you're completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream, even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And so now we come to the power of resolve and the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one, is we have to make a decision before anything can happen. We have to make a decision to not want to harm, to refrain from harming, before we're actually going to stop engaging in all of these habits that are detrimental to ourselves and harmful for others, hurt other people. So think of something that you'd like to work on this evening between now and tomorrow. It can be something very simple. Maybe you swear too much or something. I don't know. Maybe you do this self-rumination thing that's kind of unhelpful. So maybe think of something that doesn't particularly serve you right now, but you still engage in it because it's a habit and you're human. And you've got imprints from the past. So certain things are more familiar than others. We just kind of go along that road. So we're creating new pathways in the mind, and not only in our mind, actually in our physical brain as well. We change the neural pathways when we drop some kinds of thoughts and increase others. So it's physically a possibility as well. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my Guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And so next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, O Tub Shu Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzin Kyong Pelaway, Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurway Legmon to Drob, Pa Dog Sog Dulaje, Gondu Jab Ten Shog. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness, who exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. For Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, lots of love. Thank you so much for hosting. I'm Shayla, and for Michael and anyone else who was helping keeping all the zoomy, bombers out. Okay, thank you very much. Lots of love, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.